70. Oh, I lost it. No.
Hey, everybody. We are so totally fired up tonight. I cannot believe that we have Steve and Gina Merritt here just for us tonight. So you know what? We aren't even going to take any time. This is Cindy and Jen's Brynteson. We are so excited to have everybody on this call tonight. And I'm going to tell you what, if you think somebody's not on here yet, text them, call them, get them on. There's still a seat for them. Come on, let's get them in front of Steve and Gina Merritt. Let's go. I am so excited to welcome my family, my baby sister and her husband, Steve, and Gina Merritt, and we're going to let you take it away.
All right, guys, fired up. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Jens. We're excited to be here on this group, man, that has just taken the business by storm. We are so excited to be here. We got some great special teaching just for you guys to help you take your business and catapult it, boom, to the finish line. So, hey, we're excited.
Guys, as you're listening to us, I'm confident that you're going to hear the same thing that we're saying has been coming out of the mouths of the leaders that you got on your team. Cindy and Jens, Adonica, Rodney, Pastor Adonica, Pastor Rodney, also Paul and Linda, all the other leaders as well that are hit senior directors, Guy and Lynn, Millette.
Yes.
And we can't name all of them, but I'm just want you to know that we got fantastic leaders. You know, a lot of times too is, you know what a leader is making things happen because they don't have to be told that they're a leader. You just know that they've got what it takes. And there's so many of you on this team right now. And I know there's many more that are ready to step up into that leadership role in 2024. And you know what? God's got his hand and his timing on every single one of your business. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. Realize that you really, honestly, only need a good person on the right and a good person on the left that is looking to make a difference in this world for not only their family, but their friends and people that they're going to meet. And that's what all of you, I'm sure, are on here for tonight. We're going to go over some great stuff all the way from basic to high end. Yeah. We're covering everything very quickly. But the key that I want you to know is that 2024 is going to be a record year in our industry and especially in LifeWave. So I don't want any one of you. I'm glad that you're on here right now. I'm confident that almost all of you were on our 2024. This is it, your best year ever convention where we had everybody teaching everything you needed to know to get out of the blocks early in 2024. And I pray that you've already been implementing everything that was taught, which was what we taught in 2023 to have a record-breaking year. And you heard David Schmidt on the call tell us that you guys and the This Is It team broke all the records, set the pace, is the fastest growing team in the company. And we don't want to, we're giving God the glory, but we're bragging a bit for every one of you. I mean, it's good to do that. And you know that what's good about that is the confidence that you have that you're doing the right thing. I mean, that is what you want to have, is the confidence that we're doing and we're teaching the right thing. Now, I will say that in 2024, right now, the toughest thing for some of the people that have been in, now the newest ones, you're brand new, you're fresh, you're ready, you're rock and roll. So make sure that every one of you keep that childlike faith, like you just got started, you're fired up, you're excited. We've been in for 18 months. We feel like we just started yesterday. You got to have that kind of attitude for the next 24, 36 months to set you up for what I'm going to be explaining throughout this training. But I will say that if you do keep that and you don't get weary, okay, and tired because you're only patching people. I mean, how many can you unstick a patch and put it on 5 people every day? How tiring is that? The things that get you tired are the life type things that get in the way. Let's make sure that you don't let that happen to you. You know, God's got big plans for you, and he's got big plans for this team. So that's why we came coming on here. And it's really good to be doing these because, you know, you get to see that, hey, Cindy and Jens, Gina, myself, the team, we're just real people. We're not, even though we have these big meetings of thousands of people, we're also just like every one of you. We got started. We had to make phone calls. July 1st is when I started making my phone calls, 2022. And I didn't know what people were going to be thinking when I called them. But those of you that are just getting started, you got a blessing, because we know that every single person is receptive to what we're saying. The ones that have a balanced brain, should I say? I mean, because some of the people, if they don't get it right away, they'll get it eventually, but they will get what we're talking about, because it's too incredible. The testimonies keep coming. In fact, I just saw a lady on Facebook just now on our team site giving a life-changing testimony of her and her husband. So we got to keep hearing these and keep talking to people. So it's going to be exciting.
To say, hey, we're bringing testimonies back to the weekly Zooms.
Yep.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. So that's exciting, because I really feel like people live for those, they drive for those, and it gives power to the opportunity meeting. And guys, we're just here to tell you that you have exceptional leadership with Cindy and Jen's, Dr. Rodney Howard-Brown, Dr. Adonica Howard-Brown. And I'm telling you, with Linda and Paul Summersall, and there's so many more leaders. Ludmila, you're taking by storm the Russian team. I'm telling you, you guys have the leadership. And I love what my brother-in-law says. Not this brother-in-law, a different brother-in-law. His name is Yuli Brookins, and he always would tell my kids, hey, I got two things. I got lollipops and I got spankings. But I'm sorry to tell you, we're out of lollipops. So, hey, let's get a spanking. Let's get going. Come on. You guys have got what it takes to win in this business. You got to keep the fire going. You got to keep the momentum going. And it really is the key to catapulting your business to where you're at, to where you need to be. Even though you probably like a broken record. I hear this all the time. Come on. When you have the fire in your voice, like I have this cabinet guy stopping by tomorrow, but because of my voice, he's like, I'm going to be in Delray. I'm going to be in Delray tomorrow. Again, I stop by. So I'm telling you, you got to have the fire, because when you're on these Zooms and you keep hearing another testimony, and like I told somebody today, a big, huge doctor today, I said, listen, remember, you don't have the fire when I'm not with you, but you have to remember what this patch has done to you, and that should put a fire under your rear, because your life, your body is completely transformed. I'm telling you, amazing. So you got to kind of like coach people and kind of like shift them in the direction, because, hey, we can all live on the negative. We can all live on, oh, it's moving too slow for me. But no, don't say that. Let's go.
And before I start, I want to talk to you just a little bit about what our pastor gave us a message this Sunday. And Jens can relate that my father-in-law is this kind of person. I'm this kind of person. So I'm trying to portray this onto you. And maybe whenever you have this happen to you, you are going to think about what I said tonight in 2024. When people have like situations or things come their way, or somebody says no, or somebody, like a doctor told me this is never going to work, and I said, watch me. When that happens, many times all of us, and sometimes a lot of the people that are you're bringing in are kind of a needy type person. Look for some people that have done something in their life, but we can't have a crybaby type voice. Like, he would say his kids would come to them crying that some of the other kid picked on him. And he's like, hey, stop with the crybaby voice. Give me your God's victory voice. I want your God's victory voice, because God gave you a victory voice, not a crybaby voice. And this is what we got to do going into 2024. We got to speak victory into our lives and believe that, you know what? God didn't put us all together tonight in this team as a coincidence. He put us here because he wants us to make a difference. And there's people hurting, struggling in all different ways. Okay.
So the church we go to is Miracle Word Church, Ted Shuttersworth. It was last Sunday's message. You can go on and listen to the replay. I'm telling you, it was a spanking. It was good and it was powerful. But you know what? Sometimes we have to be convicted on what we're doing and where we're going, and maybe what we're perceiving to other people. So sometimes it is good to be shaken, because when you know you got something good, there's no complaining. No. It's just get up, do the work, and let's go.
So I'm going to use it on myself over the 2024, and I encourage you to do the same thing. When you feel like you want to give a crybaby voice about something, think about this and say, hey, God gave us victory.
That's right.
We're going to use a victory voice, and we're going to go conquer whatever challenge that we got going on in 2024. So let's pull this presentation up. I'm going to go through some things quickly, some things you can take a picture of, but I just want to get you a strategy for 2024 to make it happen in a big way. You can see that we do our best to try to bring everything properly. It always looks really good, but I'm not a good speller. So I usually send it to my daughter. She's not a good speller. She copies and pastes what I send. So if you see a wrong word spelled, the good thing for you is to know that you can do this. That's
Yep.
the number
And our
one
hearts
thing.
are in the right place.
And you'll know that I did it, because if the word is spelled wrong. There's a lot of things that I used from our talk this past a couple weeks ago at This Is It convention, because I want to really highlight a few things that were put together, and I kind of put the whole program together so I knew what people were talking about. But the key to number one in 2024, if you're going to rock this thing with us, and it will be the biggest year that LifeWave has ever had, I'm going to give you some backup to tell you on what I'm saying. But the number one thing is you got to have a big vision. A big vision won't blow you around. When you know you're going
That's right.
somewhere, what do I mean? What do you want for your family? What do you want for yourself? What are you looking for to accomplish? What orphanage are you willing to support? What do you want to do to help more people have a better life? And it's going to take some effort in your part. Now, of course, we're talking about health with our product. But I like to use, we're going to put this product on because it's so amazing. We're going to help people in a big way with their finances. So the stronger your vision in 2024, the more confidence you're going to have, the bigger team you're going to have. So I pray that right now you really get yourself zoned in. If you haven't done it, it's still early in 2024. It doesn't really matter. You know, there's 12 months from February 1st, just like there were 12 months from January 1st. So now is the time
But you better
to get
step up.
started.
We're on the 29th
You know?
or the 30th.
And
30th already.
I'm not trying to brag, but This Is It team has broken 8 senior presidential directors since the convention. So that's how crazy this thing is happening. We don't want anybody left behind. We're giving you every single thing that we possibly can. If you're brand new, that's the highest rank. So remember that if you don't have a vision, it's just a dream. If you don't take action, time is just passing. You got to take action toward your vision, and you got to have this vision. You know, that's what's going to change the world. If you've got a vision and putting that together with action. And what do we mean? If you just said this to yourself, every day, I'm going to do something to move my business forward toward my dreams, toward my vision. So that's what you got to do. You can't go to bed without doing something. I mean, as you start doing one thing more and more and more, eventually you're going to create that habit of doing 2 things, 3 things, 4 things, 5 things, 10 things for your business to move forward. And a leader has to now start, as you're coming on here tonight and you start creating a team, let's just say as you go manager that we're going to talk about, you got a responsibility to those people to help them win and succeed. So you went manager, that's telling me you're very good. You got a gift of personally sponsoring people. So let's take that gift and help the newest person, the most fired up one of the 4, and help them go sponsor some people. What do I mean by that? Use the same scripts that I got in here tonight, but tell them, hey, Bob, this is Steve. You don't know me, but I'm a friend of your Gina's. And she said, you're a very successful person, whatever you do for a living. She gave you a little background, say, hey, we got something big we want to talk about. I'll go through the script. And again, the scripts I have is just basic stuff that you can use your own personality. But if you don't take responsibility of helping your team grow and build, then you're never going to take it to the next level. It's not just about you winning and succeeding. So first thing you got to do is set your goals big for 2024. If you don't have a big goal, that means, you know, if you're hitting every single goal you've got, it's not big enough. So set your goals bigger in 2024 than you did in 2023. And because we didn't know it was going to be this big when we started. Okay. So, you know, give us a little bit of a break on that. Now we know. So there's no excuse for all of us now of where this can go. So we really got to take and help our friends win and succeed. I will give you a little bit of caveat that's pretty interesting. When you're building the business, when you start and you got a job and you got family, sometimes 2 jobs, husband and wife got a job, you're building it part-time, okay? As you replace your income 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, that's where we suggest nobody leaving anything till they replace it at least 4 times. Why? Because we're talking about a secondary income. We're talking about getting out of debt. We're talking about really zoning in. I think 2024 should be the year we all get out of debt. Everyone gets completely out of debt. And by doing that, you can't quit the job that, if you wanted a secondary income, why are you going to quit the one that's making the same amount of money as the other one? take them both, start paying things off.
And
You know what I
how
mean?
are you going to bring your buddies from work with you if you quit too early and they can't see that pay and can't see the fire in your eyes?
You know, and that's a good point. And Gina was a great witness, a testimony of that. She kept her job till she was making $23,000.
It was actually 28,900 a week.
Okay. So,
Oh.
but you know what's interesting is you're a lot more relatable when you have a job. The minute you quit a job, you're not going to get gas in the morning. You're not stopping to get a coffee or doing something, you know, doing an errand on the way to work, helping your wife grab something and take, you know, you're not bumping into people. You're
Right,
not out and
right.
about because, and then, you got to force yourself into talking to people. And I still am hearing incredible testimonies, some of the biggest ones that I've heard since signing up with LifeWave, of people meeting people on the street, meaning that they're bumping into people, their workplace, at their church, at their in a place where we just heard a testimony this week, at the convention, our team convention, where Andy and Mandy Hoser met Ken Burke, or Andy met Canada at a networking event, just meeting, because Ken was going there for his other traditional business. And then Andy overheard the conversation, didn't even have the conversation to him, said, is there any way I could hear a little bit about this X39 you're speaking about? Very interesting how, as long as you're out and about, God's going to put people in front of you. And I'm hearing that more and more. So don't still get too hung up on internet and people that are doing social media that don't, you don't even know who the people are. Don't count it out. But make sure that you are doing, I would suggest, from my experience, you only need a good one on the right and a good one on the left. So you really can pick and choose your own people. You know which ones you want. Somebody that's really hungry and looking, and you're looking them in the eye. And that'll lead you all over the world, because we're using the internet to talk to every one of you. There's so many of you that are all over the country right now tonight. So that's what the Zooms do for us. Like, we talk to somebody, normally in this business, you could only build locally. You couldn't go see your brother-in-law in Nebraska. It takes too long to get there and talk to them on the phone, but now we can put them right on the Zoom. So it's going to expand a lot faster. Now, this is what I mean about what is going to happen in 2024. First of all, the number one month that the company had was in November, $45 million. That was less than 2 months ago. It was the last month. It was the second to last month of 2023. When that happens, pretty much since the This Is It team started 18 months ago, almost every month or every other month has been a record-breaking month up until November, which we had 45 million. The company used to take 2 years to get to 40 million. We did 45 million in 1 month. That is a sign that something big is happening.
Oh, yeah.
Second thing, the number one year for the company ever in the history, 430 million. That's 100 million plus more than was last year. That is a huge, huge number of us taking this to $1 billion. Perfect time to get into the momentum, because you're at the 400 million. We're going to $1 billion. That's 600 million that's going. And David, if you've listened to him, is gearing up and ready to do $2 billion worth of patches. That is incredible where we're going. Now, I want you to see this graph that was given to us from Garrett Johnson, who's the North American president, the fourth guy pretty much on the totem pole, spoke at This Is It convention. The green line is the sales from January to December of this past year of the corporate. And the blue line is the growth that the This Is It team did in 2023. Not the volume, but the growth. You see the growth that we are putting together from where we were to where we're going is exceeding what the company is doing. And that is huge, huge to say, hey, we are doing the right thing. So our team is leading this growth. Everyone else is calling in sync, but the company's never experienced or seen anything like this. So this is exciting. It's perfect setup for every one of you. We're winning in a big way. Last thing I want to show you is that nobody knew who the LifeWave company was 18 months ago when Gina and I started. We didn't even know what it was or what was going on or what was going to happen. So if you go to the website Business for Home, you'll see all kinds of press releases from mostly the This Is It team from LifeWave, and you'll see that they're ranked the #2 momentum company. They haven't even kept up or gave their papers of the exact numbers that we're doing. Some people get caught up on that, but LifeWave doesn't even believe in the press releases, or they don't have enough staff or something. They don't do it. So anyways, this is the kind of momentum, though. Nowhere on the radar. This company researches and has over thousands and thousands of network marketing companies, and we're number 2 on the momentum ranking scale. So this is quite the story. Like, whenever you get stumped, you've got some stories to tell, especially if you're looking for a business person, which you're looking for. And I don't mean they have to have their own business, but they've always dreamt to have their own business, but they didn't have the money. They didn't have a mentor. They didn't know where they're going. Or maybe as you're building, we're finding more and more people that, even on this team, that are calling us up saying, hey, we just signed up. We're in a network. We know what we're doing, and we want to build it with this team. So you don't know what's going to happen on that. There's more and more people that have been really searching, that have had success in our industry, and they are looking. So just by you building, talking to your neighbor, we've got a neighbor that knows somebody that's a very successful networker. So you don't know who they're going to lead you to. You just start talking to people, and you don't even know who your cousin really knows in their cell phone, because throughout the day, they're bumping into different people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So when you're setting your goals, it's important to set big goals in 2023, 2024. It really triggers the behavior of you doing something. If you don't have a goal, let me give you some goals. Make sure that you've got a goal set. I'd like 5 people that I'm going to go talk to on a daily basis. Now, maybe you don't want to talk to somebody on Sunday or Saturday, but still think about how many people, 5 people a day times 5 for 4 weeks. That's a lot of people every month. Don't tell me that you're talking to 5 people a day, at least 5 days a week. I suggest at least 6 days a week. Don't tell me that without not seeing success. You will see success if you're looking him in the eye and you're being on our Saturday trainings, 1-hour trainings a week, to get your head in the game and you're focused. You come on to our Monday meetings and listen to our Monday motivation. If you didn't hear Ken and Lynn Robinson last night, it was incredible.
He is so funny and entertaining. I told him, I said, you're like a comedian. I'm like laughing so hard, Steve and I, we were just cracking up. Both Zooms we watched.
So if you're not on there, then it's not flowing from the tip of your tongue, and you're not saying the right thing and looking for the right people. Too many people think that they're looking for people only to buy the X39. In fact, that's the people we talked to today. They're successful people, but they haven't quite grasped it. Sad to say, there are personals. So we need to work on that better. Maybe we're helping everybody else a little too much, but we want to help you. Point is that you're looking for people. If you only need 2 people, the 2 people you're looking for is somebody that says, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, or I want more for my family, or I want to have a different type of retirement, or I want to take care of my kids, my grandkids, or I want to fund this orphanage, or I want to take care of my church's goals and needs that they've got. Whatever it is, you've got to find 2 people like that if you're really going to tear this business up. So you need to make sure your words are setting them up for looking for those people. So I like to lead with the product, but in the same breath, I'm saying, hey, because of this screams opportunity. And I'll give you an idea of what I say. You don't have to say the exact thing, but at least you can come up with that.
Jump in? So as we're ran down to Fort Lauderdale to meet up with my girlfriend, who we signed up in a diamond pack, her and her husband. So we're talking to them. I noticed that she's got this little machine on her chest, and I could tell by her body language that something was going on. She's concerned. She's scared. And so as I'm asking her, Mildred, do you have the patch on? Well, I forgot to put it on today. I said, Mildred, you have got to put the patch on daily, faithfully, consistently. 3 people called us last week, and this is a true story. It is honest. 3 people called us last week that had been wearing the patch, that had gone yearly for heart checkups, and they said their heart was 9 years older than their age. Guys, they've been wearing the patch for a year. They went and their doctor said their heart is 9 years younger. I'm like, Mildred, look at me. I made her look at me. Yeah. And I'm like, look at me right now. And I don't know what she believes. I believe she's Catholic, which is fine. I'm a Christian. And I said, Mildred, look at me right now. In the name of Jesus, there is absolutely nothing wrong with your body. Your heart is completely perfect. It is completely fine. You get home, you put that patch on, you wear that every single day, and your mind has got to think you are fine, you are healed, you are fine, there is nothing wrong. And I go, you got it? And she's like, yeah. I said, your mind can play a lot of roles on what you believe. It can overtake where you're going. It can overtake what you believe, how you act, how you respond. I could tell her whole body language was changed. When by the time she left and got in her car, she had shifted. Guys, it's so important to be honest with your people that you love, and you're not like, reprimanding them or whatever, but she has the tool. She has the tool right here to put on to make the change in her heart. And I'm like, why would you not wear the patch? You're so stressed over what you're thinking. The doctor's going to read on this thing that you're wearing for a couple weeks. Come on, you've got it. Get the patch on.
So maybe your personals are the same way. I mean,
No,
it's good
it happened.
good,
You
but-
got to hear the story from us, because being the ones who are organizing This Is It, we still have the same
Yeah,
thing. But you
it's
just
good, Gina.
love on your people and you be honest.
and they needed that today. You could see their
they
eyeballs,
said,
their
you know what
heart.
they said? We have to be with you more.
Yeah.
Because you put the fire in us.
Yeah.
So where I was getting at with that story is that it's really important, even though we like to do Zooms, it's really, really important that you have individual times with your people and your teams, because people need your fire. They need it out of your mouth, out of your voice, your encouragement. You're shifting whatever their thoughts are. You're completely changing them because they got what it takes to win. This tool does everything. We just have to share it. That's it. Simple as that.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about goals as we go, but point is that you want to get your business launched. I'm going to go through a couple scripts, but I will say this much. Once the people are excited, you got to take responsibility. You can't be the person now, if you really are going to win, and you're on here tonight, there's so many of you on here, we've maxed out Cindy's and Jen's Zoom links. Watch, you cannot be the person that's got to wait for everybody to make their move. You can't be the person that says what they sold us today. This is a very successful doctor, and he told us, I need to be around you. You guys keep me fired up. You can't be us. You can't have us to have to go pump air into you every time.
But you know what Steve said to him? Okay, you went to medical school. Did you have somebody pumping into you and holding you and encouraging you? No, it was your passion and your dream. So you got to shift this as your passion and your dream, because you didn't have somebody holding your hand, carrying you to class every day, helping you with your exams. It was all on your own. You had to want to win it. And that's what you got to have in this.
Right. So I want you to have that attitude. And now you take responsibility. So as I tell you, people get in, there's ways. Yes, we can point to the Zoom opportunities, but not everybody can make it on a Monday or a Wednesday or a Friday at noon. Put and download the presentation into your cell phone so you can meet them at the Starbucks or at the hotel lobby or somewhere, or you could go by their work and have a lunch break or whatever, anytime. I do never take people to lunch or dinner. I will tell you that much. We're looking for people that are open and looking. And the problem with going to dinner or lunch, you can tell in 5 minutes if they're looking or not. And now you got to sit there and you usually end up having to pay for it. And that's not duplicatable. So don't send, a coffee is fine because you can always get out. Okay. But you need to make sure that you're meeting them there. Now you've got them excited and they say, I want in. Okay. Now they want to sign up. Your goal is to help them go manager. So you can either help them get the people on the Zoom, or you could say, hey, let's get together at your place. And you got 4 friends that could come on over to your house, maybe a half a dozen, because 2 might be thinking about it. Will we get the other 4 in? Start taking responsibility, because more people are coming out of the woodwork than ever before. And you need to mix it up a lot. We just had 100+ people, maybe 175. I heard at the river at a meeting the other day for LifeWave for the X39. So people want to hear, they're hungry. So what is a big home meeting? And you want to do a couple of them for them. I like about 3 really no more than 4, because after you've done 3 or 4, that's as many that are going to come there. But you're looking to see, okay, Bob and Nancy, let's do one at there. See, you're taking responsibility and you're going to drive this thing and help the people get excited. Where's the next thing you promote when you're there? Hey, we're going to have the Zoom on Wednesday. You watch that, and you maybe organize these get-togethers. I call them X39 home launches. You do them on the Tuesday, on the Thursday. If you don't speak Spanish, you got Saturday night. You figure out the nights that you can, that we're not doing the Zooms. But if somebody wants to do one on a Monday, by all means, do it on Monday. And remember, Monday, you got an 8 and a 10 o'clock. You point all the rest of your people. Now, I don't suggest you bring in your whole team to somebody else's house. That's their house meeting. You put them on the, why don't I ever do that? Is because if I knew that Jens was coming to my house to do my meeting and he said, Steve, I'm bringing about another 20, 30 people. Well, guess what? Or even if he's bringing a half a dozen, I'm off the chopping block. You see what I mean? Like now I don't have to fill my house because I know Jens is bringing people. You never do that. It's that person's meeting. They got, now don't get me wrong. I might bring a friend, like maybe if I got a prospect, I bring them with me. Or somebody that just got new and help them bring somebody, but I don't tell them that I'm bringing somebody because I don't want them to, they need to make their phone calls, or you help them make their phone calls to pack the meeting. So I'm giving you some ideas of what to do. We're not just signing people up and letting them go. Our team is moving the way they're going because we know what the next step is. Have a meeting. Remember, every meeting, if somebody said to you, what's the goal for a meeting? What's the goal for having a launch get together for X39, to have another one? You're always looking for the next meeting to put this in front of people. Now they can make your decision. I have to admit, I'm not a very good closer, but I will say, when I tell people, you know that your stem cells become dormant as you age, and then when they, after they realize that's what's going on, it's up to them. Do they want them to be reactivated or not? That's a close in itself. I don't need to close them. They're going to get closed. All right. And then set some income goals. How much money do you really want to make in the opportunity? I probably have to give you oxygen to see, here my goal. I know that my friend Danny, who just hit the highest rank, his goal is to make $1 million a month. Would you like to have somebody on your team that goal is to make $1 million a month? That's who you're looking for. Why? Because he wants to support about 6 different orphanages. Isn't that interesting? Someone might hear and say, well, that guy's very materialistic. No, he's got a very good passion for kids and wants to support them, and that's why he's got that. So I want to make sure that you've got an income goal. It could be 200 a week. All right. You hear a lot of times the bigger numbers, but start with something. 500 a week will change most people's lives in the business. In their $500 a week will change most people's lives. And think about it. Jens could tell us how much money you'd have to invest to make $500 per week. How many of you are making $500 a week on an investment? This thing is a piece of cake to get to $500 a week. You got to think that. You can't say, hey, it's hard. Are you giving me the crybaby talk, or are you giving me the victory talk? Right? Yeah. You want to be talking that way, that, hey, look it, if Steve can do it, if Gina can do it, if Cindy and Jens, if all of us can do it. I mean, people that are busy, somebody might have influence, but they're also busy. So there's all kinds of things, but we're here to help you make it happen. Here's a couple scripts. Take a picture of it first. I'm not going to go too long because I got some other things to cover, but I want to make sure you know that when I call someone, I say, John, the reason I'm calling, I don't have a lot of chit chat. Gina knows I don't go into how, long on the family. I might say, hey, how's Nancy or whatever? Great. Okay. Hey, the reason I'm calling you, we haven't talked for a while, but I came across some state-of-the-art patented technology that reactivates your own stem cells. And now I'm not a very good conversation starter, but because it's the easiest conversation you could ever have is talking about stem cells. And remember, we never took stem cells out of the mix when you're talking in person, when you're talking to somebody at a home get-together. Gene and I just happen to be the #1 fastest growing couple in our team. So everyone's watching us. So when David said, hey, please don't say stem cells for a season, we listened and honored what he said. But now he's like, hey, you're back at it. You can say it again. We're all clear. So make sure that you say the word stem cells. If you forget what I said here, at least say the word stem cells. Something's going to happen.
Yes, absolutely.
Gina will be a test for me. Jens knows myself. Cindy knows me. I'm a competitor, but I'm not good at starting a conversation. You might say, how could you be? Look at, if you see me and you said, hey, go meet somebody at the mall, I'll be sweating, really sweating. thinking what you're going to say, what do I got to say? But when you know that you could say, hey, I come across a technology that reactivates your own stem cells. I mean, it is off the chart. Testimonies are crazy. What do you know about stem cells? And whatever they know, most people know they need to be healthy or something, but it's kind of taking the pressure off me on the phone or in person. And then I just say, hey, did you know that stem cells make up every organ in your body? Everything is made up of stem cells, and no one has ever told me. Tell me if anyone's told you. None of my doctors, of all the years I've gone to a doctor, said that as you age, your stem cells become dormant to the point that at 30 years old, half of them are active. 60, you're lucky if 10% are active. And I also say they're never going to come back to life unless you're wearing this technology. Now, this is my close. Get this. This is why people as they age become more prone to sickness, disease, recover slower. Are you feeling any of these, sir? They feel more sluggish. Do you feel, or you and your wife feel a little more sluggish? Do you ever forget where your keys are? The next time, if you happen to not be wearing this X39, remember me, because when you bend over and something goes on with your knee or your back, this is what's going on with our stem cells. So your doctor tells you got something going on with your heart. Remember me. So whether they get in or not, that is their close. They're like, oh my gosh, I got to get this quarter-size device. I love that word. It's a device, not a product, not a patch, a device. Start using that. This quarter-size device, I got that from the doctors. Took 10 years of research, $4.5 million to activate your own stem cells. This is exactly what I've said since I started. Gina, see me, a broken record. Anyone, you can say what you want, use it in your own words, but this is what I say. And I say, because of this, it's exclusive. The testimonies are so emotional. No one knows about this X39, and everyone must be using this technology. It screams opportunity. Are you open? Are you looking? I'm more interested if they're open and looking than the opportunity than if they're dumb enough not to get on because they want to keep their stem cells dormant. If they can't get through it, nothing I can do about it. But I laid it out for them. This is why you're feeling the way you are. You have got dormant stem cells, Charlie, okay? The key is, do you want to make some money with me? Because that's where we're going, and that's why we're breaking all these highest ranked folks, because you have to have people promoting that stem cells are going dormant or you can't get there. With this elevator pitch, we never have anyone ask us about a disease or a testimony. The way I promote it, I don't get into the deep things of that. People understand that I'm not a doctor. And after their first question, I say, that's a good question. Let me send this is at info.com. I'm going to send you this link, and I send it off to them. So it's very, very simple. It's not complicated. I also, here's just some things that you could take a picture of. I'm not going to go through all of it. But
yesterday, as I'm walking with our daughter, Chloe, fast walking, we see a neighbor lady all the way down at the end of our street. And I just say hi to her. We start talking. She's such a nice lady. I don't ever remember meeting her. She said, oh, I moved in 1982 or something. We moved in 1990 or something. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And she said, where do you live? And I said, well, you know the house that used to be green and now it's white right across from the stop sign? She's like, oh, the Monavie house. And I said, yeah. She said, well, I thought you moved away. Or she goes, who's the owner there? And I said, I'm the owner. Well, you don't look the same. You look so good. I said, yeah, you want to know what we're doing now? And I turn around, I hold my hair up, show her the little patch in the back. She's like, oh my gosh, can you come back later today and bring these samples? I am totally interested. And I use the same pitch. At 30, you have half your stem cells. At 60, you hardly have none. She's like, oh my gosh, come back. Find out she's from Michigan. I said, my husband's with Wisconsin. He loves that area up there, but just same exact pitch that he uses. Same exact pitch.
All of these here are all about stem cells. You say the word stem cell, you can't go wrong saying it, okay? If they begin to ask you questions, I told you what to do. Say that's a good answer. Give it, this is it, info. Have your own story. What do you have for a story? Before I get in, I talked about other people's testimonies. Now I would say to them, hey, I was, I've had 14 surgeries from being a pro athlete. You can imagine how I felt living, taking handfuls of aspirin and Advil for over 10 years, even before that. And I put this X39 on within a week. I feel better than I had in years. Not a weird, strange. If you have a very strange testimony, okay, that could be really incredible, we need to hear it. but don't use that one. Use something more relatable.
Yeah.
You know, my hair got thicker, my gums grew back. Anything that's more relatable, because people won't believe a strange one. And it might be true, but you got to be relatable for the folks. So the fact that you feel better is attracting people.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
need anything more than that. Okay. So
I'd say the energy and the mental clarity
Oh.
is completely a game changer for
Yeah.
everyone.
and people can see it in all of
Yeah.
us that we all got more energy
Yep.
and we're focused, we're zoned in. Okay. So if you don't have your own testimony, give somebody. So I'm giving you a little bit of heads up. I'm moving along quickly, but
Yeah.
you can see this is very simple.
Yeah,
This
and
isn't
I didn't need a
complicated.
testimony for 6 weeks, so I had to use other
Guys.
people's testimony.
You can't say the wrong thing to the right
Exactly,
person. If a person is
exactly.
looking and they're looking, like I said, are you open to opportunity? We talked to this doctor today and his fiance. Next thing you know, a business owner that signed up in his business, in his company, in his LifeWave business, showed up. He's taking notes, wanted to hear. It's like a crowd. Everyone wants to know how this is happening and they want to make it happen. So as long as you're out there, make it happen. Remember, send this is at info, then you follow them up. I'm going to tell you another thing that I send them on the next page. But when you do follow, you know, your next follow-up could be, Sandy did a great job, my sister-in-law, at This Is It convention.
Yeah.
Have you been did you put your patch on today? Doesn't have to be ridiculous. It's a matter of following up with them to talk to them about that. I'm not a firm believer of just sending out the patches. As a matter of fact, I only give the samples if they really beg for them or they have to have them, because, or if it's somebody that's brand new, like Gina met the lady. We're trying to make a relationship, but we don't say it's going to do anything. It's just so you can feel that you're not going to feel anything different.
Right.
We're not expecting that all of a sudden they're going to have miraculous, because then you're setting yourself up for failure. But when you go to follow up with them, you say, hey, you must be feeling great. This has got such incredible results. Let's get you started. So I always send them, this is from my cell phone today. When I talk to somebody, I said, I'm going to send him this. I'm going to send you this link, and then I'm going to send you the order form. So you can hold up the order form right here. But the order form is online at thisisitteam.com. Okay. So I go to the download section, copy and paste, and you can see I'm texting myself right there, the order form. And I tell them to print it out, fill it out, text me back, and I'll put you in as soon as I get your form. And I make sure that I tell them, I tell them there's 3 ways: the silver, the gold, the diamond. I don't talk about anything else. I say, hey, the best way to get in is gold. If to get started, if you're serious, get on a diamond package. And I go through the same thing that we talk about on every opportunity meeting. I tell them how to get in when they get in. Make sure you get on 2-sleeve auto ship. One's for you, one's for your spouse, and you can make everything in the comp plan. So most thing they heard about me is, no matter what, out of all these options, you got to at least come in as a gold. Diamond is better, and 2-sleeve auto ship. And I sent them this as well, so they have everything they need now to get themselves started. Okay, we've got a pro strategy. If you and your team are not saying pro, then you know you're not plugged in to what we're talking about. We pro people every day. We patch, we revisit, we point to opportunities, or you're the opportunity. Like I said, you're putting it on your cell phone. This is going to be big. There are going to be more millionaires created from the LifeWave opportunity in 2024 than there probably's ever been in the history of the company. Did I tell you we already broke 8 new ones? Okay, since the convention that was January 13th. Okay, get ready. I'm not bragging. I just want to make sure you know that this is happening, and you can be honest with yourself. Have I been, look at the first, talking to 5 people every single day, patching them?
You can take a picture of this too.
Okay, have I been doing that? Have I followed up with the people properly? I have to admit, I'm not as good at the follow-up personally. I'm not. I just got a guy texting me. He's still getting ready to get in, but I'm doing the revisiting. I'm working at it. But I patch so many and I call so many and I try my best. But then I point to the opportunity, or I'm not afraid to be the opportunity and say, let's get you in. Now we help them make the calls and get the people there. We do have the sample envelopes. Go to This Is It Team, and you can go and see the sample program, and they take you to the Vistaprint.
And I love the new things that I made up with my daughter Mia. So you can literally put the name and address right on there, mail this envelope with this card inside. And then you put, 369 patches, whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you, this is the way to do it. Amazing.
Okay, I want to tell you real quick on This Is It info. We've done a little revision for you. The Dr. Stillman, I hope you really enjoyed our interview with him. He's the 3rd video on the site. So it goes, the phototherapy, David Schmidt, and then Dr. Stillman. I'd love to send that info out now and then give them a reason. Some people have said to me, well, when I send the link, they don't want it. You didn't sound interesting enough, okay? You got to say, you got to hear this MD, this doctor that is not even part of designing the X39.
Yep.
He's just with us and he's using in his practice, giving every answer that you need to know about the X39. You must, for your family's sake, listen to that video together tonight. When you get this download of This Is It info, it's a must. Skip all the rest, go right to there, okay? And you get them to watch that. You don't find it on the YouTube channel and send it separate. You always use This Is It info because then everyone can take as deep a dive as they want. But you are duplicating yourself and you want everyone else on your team to do that same thing. But can you imagine how much more interesting it is now to say, this doctor, we just did the interview with him. You got to hear what he has to say about the X39. Okay, you could throw some copper, I said copper. You could throw some zingers in, like he helps you understand the copper that's going on in most people's body and why you need the X. You could tell them it's the #1 way to create collagen in your body. It's the best way for your stem cells to be. There's so many things he says in there. You got to get them to listen to that. So that's a great zinger in 2024 for you to let the people know why they got to listen to that site, link. Now here's a thing that we just came out with too for you to keep track. It's on This Is It team for you to keep track of you following up with your people. I think it's very important to create the habit. So you might want to print this out tonight and say, hey, look at, if you said to yourself just now when I said you really being honest with yourself that you gave it everything you got the month of January, and if you didn't, at least print this out and start making yourself accountable to yourself, maybe to your spouse and yourself. You're being accountable to each other. You each talk to 5 to make up for what you didn't do in January. So if every day you each talk to 5, you've doubled up. I did that in my ski career. I worked throughout the winter and I said, if I compete and if I practice all winter long in South Florida compared to Wisconsin where I'm from, I can get 3 summers in 1 winter.
Yeah. So
you can get 2 months in 1 month if you both do 5 people each day and patch them, and you need to encourage each other, not like, hey, like, because I'm usually the one that don't get my 5 in. So this gal is one heck of an encourager. She's probably one of the biggest encouragers I've ever seen or experienced in my life. So can you do that to your spouse or to your team? You don't beat them over the head and say, why the heck didn't you do 5 people today? You say, hey, let me take you by the hand. Let's go talk to people. Maybe you have somebody over here. You have a conversation and the guy comes over and says, like Andy Moser did, and you help your friend sponsor him. So,
and encouraging words will get you way further than, like just badgering.
Deadbeat husband can't
gosh,
talk to
come
5
on,
people.
You can't even do this.
Okay, hope you had fun with that one. Okay, go to thisisitteam.com and here's the 10-step system. Follow along, but don't stay there all the time. I'm just letting you know that everything you need to know is there. And when someone's getting started, we have the different things that people have questions. Every question of 18 months that we've had is on here on our system so that you can listen to it. Get yourself a goal to get to senior director in the next 90 days. All by doing what I'm saying. If you start talking to 5 people every day, now I say 5, but maybe 2 don't answer their phone. That's why I like 5 written out who I'm going to go see tomorrow. Even set yourself up and say, hey, you might know a friend and say, hey, Bob, I'm going to stop by your office tomorrow. You're going to be at your office at 9 o'clock. Great. I got something important. I got to talk to you. So you didn't say nothing about what you're doing. You're just making sure he's there and you're swinging by. So you're setting yourself up for the day on the way to work. Okay. But our goal is to get you to manager in 30 days faster. People are doing it even faster. So get yourself goal. And it's all falls into what I just told you about. You're going to help your team. If you believe manager is easy, all you got to do is help 2 friends go manager. So if you go manager and make it look real easy, your friends are going to see that. And then you help them get their manager done.
Come on, if
quickly.
Cheryl and Bob Kerr can do it, a retired Delta Airlines pilot. They're crushing it. Congratulations, by the way, guys. You guys are rocking it. Come on, a Delta Airlines pilot, my buddy.
And then you go 90 days. Your goal is to get the senior director. Remember what I said about a goal. If you don't have a goal, you got nothing to shoot for. And you got to have a little urgency
Yeah.
to make this happen. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to let it go. So what do? You go online and you print these pages out on This Is It Team. And you literally strategize and draw the people's names in as they get in. Okay. And you see how I keep putting pro in front of you. How many people did you pro today? If you didn't patch 5 people, don't go to bed without texting and say, hey, I got to talk to you about something, reaching out, setting a goal that you're going to talk to 10 as a team tomorrow. You got to step it up because you want to get this thing done with a sense of urgency. But these forms you can lay out and you can actually put the names of the people in as you're going around making this happen. That's how we do it. And your strategy is always putting 20 right, 20 left, and doing the pro strategy. So we call it the diamond 20-20, 20 right, 20 left, always keeping your personal to the far outside. I was helping a lady today that's not a personal, but she had her, I saw that her friend got put on the inside for some reason. She said she put on the outside, but I helped the company, got her put to the outside so she could put the next person that she sponsored in on the outside. So you want to make sure that you're on your game, you're listening. One of the main reasons I told this doctor, I say, you're not on the Saturday trainings. If you're on the Saturday training for 1 hour, I mean, come on, you went to Harvard, you went to all these medical school. I mean, this is just going on a Saturday, 1 hour a day. And if you're going to watch the replay, great, but it's not the way you do it. You don't have anybody. You're telling me you're watching it on your own on Saturday. We can always call the busy card on a Saturday. You can see we're busy people. We have things that we love to do and be busy. We got 6 grandkids, you know what I mean? So point is that we know we got to be committed. We're usually doing the Saturday training, so we're on it.
So hey, if you're saying you've already done the 20 left, 20 right, then do it again, because that's what we're doing. We've I don't know how many times we've done it. 4 times, 5 times?
Yeah.
I'm trying to guess. But anyways, just do it again. Do it again. You just keep doing it over and over again.
And I'm going to teach you something on the 20 right, 20 left in a second. Any onboarding questions you have when you're building is there now, and they keep getting added. So keep checking that. But anyone that has a question, you always answer with the system so that you don't, our phone hardly rings. I mean, I've got it on right now. It hardly ever rings. It only rings with people saying, hey, I got somebody you want to talk to, or this and that, those kind of things, but not anyone like giving me dragged down questions, because we got it. It's all written out here. So everyone know any question they might have, but you want to know where the answer is. So if somebody says, how do you upgrade? It's right here on the onboarding part of the session. If you want to know how to, if somebody's not getting results right immediately and they're having an issue, you've got the advantage tab that has all kinds of advantage answers for people that you could send to the folks. So anything they know. Now, I don't mean to say, hey, be rude and don't answer it, but you could at least point to where it's at, so people are saying, oh, I get what he's trying to tell me, that the answer is right there. So next time they might look there.
Right.
What is a big question everybody has? Can I have a little more information on the compensation plan? So you take and copy and paste and send them the compensation plan. There's 3 people doing the video. Me, Mike Hernandez, Danny McDaniel, all showing the compensation plan. Danny does it for 1 hour. Okay. And then all the PDFs, our own team PDFs and the corporate are all there. Someone can't say they don't understand it. You look so good when you do it as well. And think about it. We know you're busy, so we're setting you up for when someone gets in how to go manager. You say, this is your first goal. There's like 4 videos of us teaching them how to go manager. That takes your time being with your family, doing your job. We're setting you up for success. Okay, a couple big things. I got believe on here, but there's another thing you need to set goals for. Okay. The key to this business, if you want to break free, and I'm getting ready to wrap it up here, but I just want to tell you this, is that if you want to get free, you've got to have people engaged on our Zooms for the opportunity and on Saturday, and especially at our conventions. Okay. It's just like going to church. When you go to church, it's totally different than when you watch it online or you watch it on YouTube. Okay. You're engaged. You got things, you got people are looking at you. You're looking at them. You can feel the energy off the people. It's a whole different thing. That's why we have our Believe convention is going to be live. First 500 people are going to be able to watch it live. So get your email in if you haven't sent your email in, okay? Or you just go to thisisitconvention.com and you click on it and you could put your information in there and register. Don't say, oh, I'm going to be 600 or whatever. Nobody's asking for any money. So when it comes to giving your credit card, you might be 520, but 20 people didn't give their credit card before you did, so
Boom.
you're in. So make sure you don't hesitate. And by the way, we're still lining up everything. And if we get so many people that say, I'm coming no matter what, maybe we got to get a bigger venue. So point is that we want to get it set up for you. We want you to understand this. Now, I will say, when it comes to the big event, that's the number one kahuna, okay? People love to sign up at the very end. Now, I appreciate that you're coming, and I know you're busy and everything, but I will say this much. You really missed the boat on this. The key to this is how many people do you have with you? Because that's how your business is multiplying like a franchise. If you don't have people there watching it and learning, like there were thousands on the This Is It convention online, how many did you have learning with you? If you signed up at the last minute, like after we started it, my son said, oh, Dad, like 250 people signed up the first hour. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for those people because they really are on there watching it by themselves. If they would have got it at the beginning and got their ticket, they would have been promoting it for the last 6 months. We were promoting it.
Well, let's say they were new, brand new.
Let's hope they were new. But I just want you to know that I want you to win. We're here helping you. We're talking to you with a victory voice tonight. And I want you to understand it's the same concept on the Saturday trainings. Somebody said, how many people do I need to have signed up in my business to make $1,500 per week? It's got nothing to do with the sign up. It's how many you have on Saturday. When you have 60 people watching on Saturday, 30 from your right team, 30 from your left, you're going to be making, on the average, $1,500 per week. When you want to make $700, okay, then you're going to be making, you need about 30 people, 15 right and left. 300, you need about 15 people, about 7, 8 people on the right and left. You want to make 3,000, you need 120 people. You just, if the numbers all fit in. So you just figure where you want to be, but that should be your goal. And you could see on Saturday, okay, check, I got Susie, I got Charlie, I got Bob, I got this guy. You know, you just check them all the way down and you know how many you got on there. It's not difficult. So that is how you, now of course you're taking notes, but I want you to highlight this so you really get the importance. Now, last thing I want to say about this, about getting people on. If you're brand new and if you're very analytical, you're very smart is what I'm trying to say. A lot of times you miss the boat because you think these meetings are for somebody that's going to say something earth-changing or something new that you never heard of. That's not what they're for. They're only for you to put the people on so they get trained and learn what the opportunity is on the weekdays and how to build it on Saturdays. Just like Gina's flight attendant training. She went there. She was there for a month when she trained to be a flight attendant. And then after she left, they had the same training, but it was the exact same training with a whole new group of girls or you know, men and women. So the same thing is going to happen here. Your goal is to put the people on. It's not. Thank goodness we have so many fantastic leaders. You just heard Ken and Lynn and all of you on here, because everyone's got a different personality. So you don't have to hear the same couple say the same thing every time. You got
and Veronique, I hope I said it right. Yusti. Congratulations for your accomplishments. Woohoo!
We appreciate your leadership.
Yes.
And we know that all of you are stepping up. That's why you're on here tonight. And thank goodness you got on here early, because there's 200 people trying to get in and they can't get in.
But it's recorded.
Okay? So we'll let them hear it tonight. But make sure you get this. Please get it. The more people you have at the Believe convention, being engaged, being together. I'll give you a word picture. We had our first get together in our company, our business here was at our house for people that hit senior director, the 3rd rank. We had about 200 people show up. David Schmidt spoke. Most of those people went on to hit the highest rank in the next 90 days to 6 months. Okay. Then we had a get together in Tampa. People broke record again. So these get togethers that we're having, like we just had all the SPDs get together at our event in Fort Lauderdale, and everybody is all on fire. So we want you here. I know it's not easy, but we never had anyone hit the highest rank and keep it that didn't come to a live convention. So you want your people to hit that. For sure, you want to do it, but you're in it also, you want your people. This is a business that we want our friends to win. You got to help them get there. You got to be a leader and help them. If they're giving you an excuse, is that a crybaby voice? Or is that your victory voice? Nobody gets to be a flight attendant unless they go to flight attendant school. Do you understand it? It's the same thing here. So don't miss the point. And I'm trying to make sure that you get it early in 2024, that the more people you have on Saturday, take that goal. That should be your biggest goal. How many do I have on Saturday training? And that is what you're going to see your business explode in a big way. Come on, it's free. It's 1 hour. All you got to do is learn how to be a promoter. You got to hear this couple. They are so incredible. Maybe you watched one of their videos from before.
Yeah.
Maybe they were on This Is It convention. Tell them what you heard.
Saturday is Tommy and Ingrid Sardine. They were in another network and they said they accomplished what they did in how
5 years and 5 months. Here.
5 years from their other network. It took 5 months in this network to
They're on
accomplish.
fire.
Guys, that's a wake-up call right
Okay.
there. Whoa.
So again, I talked about the diamond strategy, the 20 right, 20 left. So make sure you're doing that. And then your goal when you're doing that is always help the person you get in to go manager when they're ready. So if I sponsor Cindy and Jen's and they say, yes, we want to go manager, of course, I'm still looking for somebody else to put below them, like a Paul and
Linda.
Paul and
Summersault.
Linda. I'm trying to put them in, but I want to focus, if they're ready to go manager, help them. So you're not just slamming them 20 right, 20 left. Remember what I said, you also are, your goal is when you put them in, let me help you go manager, and you help them get their 20 right, 20 left. It could be a get together at their house. It could be making phone calls at their house. It could be going and seeing people at the Starbucks, whatever you got to do to help them go manager as you're putting the person right and left. So it's not just about going down, because you want your team to have these managers all the way down. You should set a goal to have 6 managers right and 6 left. Why? Because you want to make sure that your business is set up that if you don't have managers, your income goes by, it's capped. So if you're with me on a trip and we both are making 20,000 a week, and you've only got one manager on one side, which people like to cheat. I'm not saying this, but they basically are cheating the system. You want to make sure you do it properly.
Right.
A great foundation. So I'm teaching you the right way. And you go, and one of your managers goes out, that means you're not at the rank that you're at. So you basically have dropped down to manager. So your 20,000 a week dropped to 1,500. So you're not going to have such a fun.
Woo.
If I got 12 managers right and left, I'm not looking at my phone and at my business all the week that I'm there. I'm having a fun time.
Good boy.
I want that for you. So let's start now, early in 2024. We've all only been in shortly. We've only been in a short time. So you want to make sure. Okay, it's not, okay. And then you want to make sure that you're what this graph is showing you is your 20 right, 20 left. That also the company looks at your unilevel. So you've got an A leg, a B leg, and a C leg, a D leg, and an E leg. Figure out the top 3 and start focusing in them. And as I'm building the business, I'm helping the other, but my main focus is to get the A leg. You see how they got that, create a taproot down there. I keep looking for the most fired up couple to keep driving the people down in depth. And I'm teaching this now because the company has another rank that they haven't announced, but it's a rank that they give free trips for to Bora Bora. And nobody's taught this for
Ever.
19 years.
Yeah.
That you got to have a taproot and build these legs. And because of this, you get to go on a free trip to Bora Bora. So you need 3 legs, personal legs. They don't have to be personal people that hit I could give you a word picture. Every time you break a presidential, that's 100,000 points. Now you might be new, or you might be in and say, hey, that's a long step. Talk to me with your victory voice. You're going to get this. You're going to make it happen. We got so many people breaking. It's like popcorn. Okay. It ain't that hard. You're just going to plug in and you're going to believe that it's easier than it is. Okay. So 3 legs is what we call the elite leg, and they got to be 3 presidentials. You could have 6 executives. So if you know the comp plan, don't get overwhelmed here. An executive brings in 50,000 points. A president brings in 100,000. A senior president is 200, but they only allow you to count 100 per leg to get to Bora Bora. So if you got a leg that's doing 300,000 and no one else, you're not counting. You got to have 3 legs, and it's very easy in a word picture, and they don't have to be personals. So let's say I sponsored Cindy and Jen's, and down below underneath Pastor Rodney and Adonica, I've got Paul and Linda Summersault, and they go presidential, but the others don't. That leg is going to be a 100,000 point leg, and I get credit for that leg. So they don't have to be personals for this part of the award. So we'll help you through it, but we do know what we're doing. You're looking to build people and help them win and succeed. That's what I mean about taking responsibility and helping the people win and succeed. So we're doing that here tonight with Cindy and Jen's team, all of the leaders that are here with you. So remember, we've got our weekly meetings. This is where you're going to plug the people in. You're going to get good at promoting the person speaking. You don't need to always know the person. You just promote. You got to hear what they're going to say.
We're excited to be doing 5 a.m. tomorrow. Whoop, whoop.
So that's going to be Australia, and people are fired up. But we gave you a lot tonight, but we want 2024 to be your year, your best year ever. So we wanted to give everything you got. We want you to see that, hey, we're real folks. If you're brand new and you never got to meet us, you know, this is Cindy's sister. We're just making it happen together with every one of you. God's got his hand on the whole opportunity.
Absolutely.
He's blessing all of us. We're not taking the credit. We're giving him the credit. We're just saying, hey, if you engage and you start doing the activities of exposing the X39, you can't go wrong. You cannot mess this up. The people, and any question that you can't answer, you say, hey, that's a great question. I'm working with a team of people. We're the number one fastest growing team. 19 years, we've passed them all up. They know exactly what to do. That should give you confidence. That's part of growing your business. They can see it in your eyes. They'll help us answer that question for you.
Guys, you have passed everybody up that was in the business for 19 years. You passed them like they're standing still.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah. So now's the time, now's the moment. I'm going to throw it back to Cindy and Jen because they're amazing. They're the incredible leaders, and we're having fun. The key is we're going to miss any of you that are not coming to Mexico.
Yes.
We want you with us. Be on the next trip because the trips are so much fun, and we don't want anyone to miss out on them. But, you know, make that be a driving force that, hey, I'm not going to miss the next one. I'm going to do what was taught tonight on this training.
So, hey, guys, fire it up.
Wow,
Well,
wow,
well.
wow. I have so many notes. I wrote on top of my notes because I ran out of paper. I was sheets of paper.
That was incredible.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
Thank you,
And
Gina. And
oh, thank you so much. Thank you. This was like having a 10-hour convention. Literally. I
Yeah,
hope
cram
you
it in,
got what
you
they
know.
said. Yeah. You know, there
It'll
was
be a good recording for everyone to share with the ones that couldn't.
Yes.
That's
got.
right.
And we're going to do it again. This is not like one we're
No,
doing and we're not.
no.
We're going to keep doing these. So get your people on. We'll do these ones in between the bigger ones. But in the meantime, let them hear the recording and get them on Saturday.
That's
Yeah.
right. I'll be posting the recording right away. Y'all, minimum of 5 pros a day. Come on, let's do this.
Come on.
The victory voice. Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
I knew you'd like that.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. The quarter-sized device that is 10 years and $4 million. Y'all, there's so much. I don't need to repeat it all. We'll be here another 2 hours because it would take me longer to say what he just said. Right?
Well, hey, it's been great, Sharon. We're excited. We're just getting started. We got to run off to the next one, but we want to let everyone know we love you. We believe in you. We're going to make this happen together.
God bless you all. Thank you so much. I'll post the recording shortly.
all right.